Welcome back to another episode of the Armchair Pundits podcast. And we have another busy weekend of games to review. And how are you guys doing this weekend?
I'm good, man. Had a good weekend. You know what I mean? First 10K run and all that. Football went too bad either.
Let's see that middle.
There's the medal. You know what I'm saying?
Congrats, bro.
Good job.
Yeah.
It's the only medal Arsenal fans are seeing this season, that's for sure. So well done to you, man.
Hey, brother, listen. I don't see the medals that they get anyway. You know what I mean? I see it on TV, bruv. I don't see that medal. I want to see what medal you're going to have, bruv. Because you're going to have one of these. And where?
All right, maybe next year.
Are you looking at FA Cup or something? Yeah, okay. We'll see.
Maybe Europa. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before we start, don't forget to Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to share this podcast as well, and to hit that subscribe button as well. So, as we always do, we'll go through our predictions from last week to see whether we were right about this game weekend's results. So, Lamont, what was your original score? You said 2-1 at the end, but I think originally you thought you were going to lose, didn't it? You put a loss at first.
You know what I said?
It's a draw. You said a draw.
It was a draw.
I said a draw. I said 1-1, and then I said, you know what?
2-1.
I think United might get it, and then I went and changed it to 2-1.
Well, there you go. Keep the faith. You won.
Yeah, it's true, bro.
Bevan said 3-0 Arsenal, and in controversial circumstances, they still managed to get the win. But we'll talk on that once we actually talk the Arsenal segment. Leon said Spurs 2-1, and somehow they managed to get that flipped over, and they lost 2-1.
There's no somehow about it, bro. No somehow about it.
They switched off for 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, 5 minute spell. I said 3-0, and it was looking like a good 4-0 at one stage, but we switched off, and it was 4-1 in the end. So yeah, correct scores, none. So Bevan's the only one with 2 correct scores so far this season. We're still playing catch up. But the running order for today: Liverpool first up, beating Ipswich 4-1. Wolves 1-0. And obviously, then we'll go Spurs. The Wolves losing 1-0, sorry. Then we'll go Spurs losing 2-1. Then we'll do Fulham Man United 1-0. Then we'll finish off with the City-Chelsea game. So, it was actually good last week when you guys actually started with the Liverpool game. So I'll let you guys give your opinions on what you saw in that game. And then I'll cap it off at the end.
I don't think that scoreline tells a fair story, if I'm honest.
What story is that? Wait.
No, I think that Liverpool should have got more than that, to be fair. I think they were just they weren't. I think, didn't I say the same thing the week before, that you guys you could have had way more goals, but it's almost like you were just teasing the opposition, to be honest with you. I think you hit the post a few times, there's a few good saves in there. But I guess you just want to get the 3 points and, just get more goal, just add more to your goal difference, isn't it, really? I feel sorry for Ipswich, man, because as a team, I've been saying it from the jump, I feel like they played like decent football, but they're not playing it consistently enough. And when they switch off, they get punished. The lap was quiet, and I think that was, one of the things that stood out for me, because he hasn't been quiet throughout the whole season.
He got kept quiet, to be fair.
Yeah, fair dues.
He got kept quiet.
Yeah, man. So it's unlucky for them anyway.
I think that's one of Liverpool's best performances. No, I was going to say, I think it's one of Liverpool's best performances in the Prem. We've been taking on weeks that they've been starting the game slow, and they started quick.
Mm-hmm.
They came out of the blocks, and you see the difference. 3-0 up, and Ipswich weren't really going to get back into the game. Yeah, it's Ipswich and stuff like that. But the game at the beginning of the season wasn't like that. I get it's at Portman Road or whatever, but Liverpool just turned up and rolled them over as they should have done, and it could have been 6 or 7 really. I'm sure he hit the bar, hit the post, as Mont said, and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good Liverpool performance. It wasn't that slow start to games that we've seen over the last couple of weeks, and kind of not what you want to see it this time of the season, really. From my perspective,
I'd have to agree. I mean, for Liverpool, you go into the game and you're thinking it's Ipswich. You know you should be able to beat them, but I think the performance was important because, as you said, there's been a little bit of a drop off in terms of performance, especially that Brentford game where James was lamenting some of the missed opportunities and in the final third. So for them, putting Ipswich to the sword was exactly what they needed. And obviously, second half, they only got the additional goal and let Ipswich get one back. But all in all, at this stage of the season, you just want to get points on the board and try to extend the gap where they can. So fair play to Liverpool. Ipswich struggling, but yeah, they're gonna have bigger 6-pointer backup 6-pointer battles to come in the next few weeks. So I think this is one of them games they would have just written off anyway.
Yeah, for me, what I saw is a good professional performance. That's what I wanted. I wanted two things: clean sheet, which I didn't get, which sounds silly, but it's just annoying just to concede the way we did at the end. But I was just looking for perfection, I guess, because it was close to a perfect performance. Start to himself. Performance-wise, really happy to see Szoboszlai growing. He's getting better and better with each game. He's getting more used to the role, and people are starting to understand that it's the role he plays is more than just the goals and assists that he can bring. It's what he brings to our midfield. I know some people have now gone from some people saying that he was going to be the next Gerrard to now a new Henderson.
bruv. You know what?
Yeah.
I really hate when football fans do that. A man plays 2 minutes of football and he's the new this person. Like, allow it, man. And then when he doesn't perform, doesn't hit the heights, then he's garbage again. Now he's a new Henderson.
Yeah. See, people just need to just know. Yes, he's got great running power, and if that's what we need, that's what we need. In the day, we play in the Premier League. Man City are testament to show you that you need running power in your midfield, otherwise you're going to get finished at the top level. And I appreciate what he does. And yes, he does need to get a few more goals, but he'll get them. He's starting to. Gravenberch, another great performance. Really happy with him. Slot has worked wonders unearthing a new role for him because we all knew we had talent. But last year, Klopp built a foundation of, okay, you need to learn how to defend. And that foundation is now bearing fruit now because it's not just a coincidence that he's turned into this. I know some people think it's all Slot. I don't think it is. I think it's just all pieced together in a good system that's helped him. The only issue we have is the strike force at the moment. The initial experiment with Diaz playing false 9 worked at the beginning, but at the moment, unfortunately for him, he's coming out with lesser performances. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because Liverpool are winning. But as a Diaz himself, at the beginning of the season, I was saying, listen, the way he started, he's one of the best left wingers in the world. And now he can't even get a game because Gakpo has got 14 goals. I think he's got like 13 in his last 16 games, something crazy like that. So
it's true.
It's a poor man's problem. Is that the way you say it?
No, it's
a good problem.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. But Alisson as well, coming back to form, really good save just before they scored. Nothing you can do about the goal they scored, to be honest. 2 good saves. And to cap it off, Van Dijk looks like the best defender in the world again. And like you said about their striker, what's his name again?
Liam Delap.
Him and Konate just showed him the way, bro. Like,
Konate had a very good game today, He had a very good game today, and it showed because even within like the pass to Szoboszlai for his goal, bro. Mm-hmm. It's like the guy's got confidence in it. He's got the confidence, and I feel like obviously when you're in that kind of headspace, you will take more risks Does that make
Yeah.
sense? I don't think
Yeah.
Kanate, when you guys are, when it's on the edge or knife edge and all that, I don't think Kanate is making a pass like that. I think he'll play more safe. But obviously he doesn't need to now because he's got the confidence that one, A, he can make the pass, and two, the person he's trying to deliver the ball to can take the ball in under pressure and, you know, execute pretty much. And that's what he did. And just to touch on Gakpo, I feel like obviously because Gakpo's not scared to pull the trigger, I feel like that's probably slightly why he's in over Diaz, because Diaz wants to do a jinky-me-jinky and always want to try and beat the man. Whereas Gakpo, he just wants to see the goal. And he's gonna lash a shot, or he's dinking it back post for whoever's back there waiting. So yeah, you're in good stead, mate.
Yeah. And we spoke about it last week. I said, I don't want to be like overlooking this game. But I said, my worry is going to be Bournemouth. And they just smashed up Nottingham Forest, who we had to go to extra time to score against. So again, next week, it's going to be an interesting one. Because there's our game and there's another game that we'll talk about later on that are going to be very interesting. But listen, Slot doing a fantastic job, and long may it continue. Because it's beyond the expectations I had. I thought we would challenge, but I didn't think we'll be sitting there at this point in the season with only one defeat in a league to our name, to be honest, and in the Champions League winning all the games. Right. But on a side note, what a farce the Champions League group is. I know we don't really talk Champions League, but we're going to finish first or second, but we're looking at playing Real Madrid or Juventus as our reward.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck, bro? You're on mute, Leon. You're on mute.
Nah, bro. The Champions League format is sick, bro.
It's nice, but it's just
the only reason you might have to play them is because they've been shagging the thing. They didn't see the script. They were like, no, we're just gonna flop the first few games and then make it. But that might have been their plan all along. Who knows? You can never know. You can never tell with these certain teams, but. The format's been good. I think the fact
I've enjoyed it.
There's so much riding on the last week, and so many times we've gone into the last week, and everything's already been decided.
Wrapped up.
You've got
wrapped up. Yeah.
Almost 20 teams who have something to play for. I think it's been good.
Yeah. It's unheard of. Isn't it?
It's good, but it's just annoying. It's just.
It's like the Super League, innit? This is the Super League, bro.
Yeah,
this is what they wanted.
Isn't it?
Yeah, they got what they wanted. Oh, UEFA, the other people didn't. UEFA said, we just do that instead.
Innit?
It was smart.
What were you guys going to do again? No, we don't like that idea. Next season.
Next
You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's the biggest. That is the biggest
robbery
change ever, man. Yeah, robbery for true.
But yeah,
Let's move.
enough for Liverpool.
Yep.
We shall move on to. I don't like calling them the Arsenal. Where did that come from? The Arsenal.
The Arsenal fans, isn't it?
The Arsenal.
The Arsenal, you know. Arsenal. We move on to Arsenal.
Woolwich Arsenal.
Is that what we're doing? Yeah. All right.
So wait, that's your.
Yeah. It was. We rebranded. We rebranded, and that's why we're the Arsenal. Boy, that game was mired by a refereeing decision. Before I get onto that, if they don't sign a striker by the end of this transfer window, I think I'm going to lose it. Huh?
Kevin,
you got 5 days, bro.
Prepared to lose it because I don't know where you think this striker's coming from, bro.
Bro, actually, I know, but like, it's the smoke and mirrors. It's so frustrating, man. If that game didn't prove that I know we've needed a striker, but like, I'm not gonna diss him. I'm not gonna rub out Havertz, but he had three chances, and 2 of them definitely should have scored. Definitely,
100%.
You could pick anyone, and I just think, and for it to
his
be
confidence is shot, B.
But it's not though. He scored midweek.
Yeah, but I feel like. When did he score? Did he score when you guys were already ahead? Midweek. We could come back to that.
He did. He scored when we was already ahead midweek.
Right. So my thing is, when it's on the line and he's got to be the one that has a deciding, or a point to prove, or he's got to be the one to change the game. I don't feel like he's got it in him at the minute. I don't think he's got it. Do you get what I'm saying? It
Bro,
feels like he could only kind of pick up the slack when you guys are already winning. Like he could jump on a bandwagon kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, bruv, I just think that like the chances he's missed, a proper striker puts those away, man. I don't think he's not a midfielder and he's not a striker. He's like some hybrid player, and sometimes sometimes the finish is there and is good, but then when he gets a chance, I'm not 100% confident that Havertz is going to score unless it's a tap in, and even then, that's not even guaranteed. So, and for Calafiori's goal was mustard. That was fantastic. But when it's your defenders scoring goals like that and your strikers ain't, it don't look good. I do
That's
want
been the case all season, no?
It has been the case all season, and that's what I'm saying. That like for it to get to this point in January, at first Arteta saying he's not going to sign anyone, and now he's saying we must sign someone. And if he gets to the end of the window and he doesn't, that's when he's just gonna put more pressure on himself if Arsenal don't win the league, because it's just going to seem like he's just saying what the people in the back. He knows that they're not going to get anyone, but I'm just going to play this like political game and trick the people into what's going on, rather than I know he can't come out and say, oh, we're not going to get no one, but like all of the games and stuff like that, it's just annoying, man. All of these links to players that can't be bought out, and then you're going to sign them in the summer, but then it's. You're just relying on next season, and nothing is guaranteed, man. So, yeah.
Do you think you should just pay the buyout clauses then? Because, like, Gokeres has got a buyout clause. You pay the buyout clause, he's yours. Unless he says no to you guys, you just pay the buyout clause. Because then there's no haggling, is there?
Yeah. I think if you're if you're serious about doing it, you got to bite the bullet. You got to buy the buyout clause. You got to do something, even if it's some creative accounting. Do something, man. Work some magic. Lie, cheat, and steal, man. Beg and borrow, and all them other things. Like you got to do something. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. In the first half, it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't necessarily a great game of football. And then Michael Oliver makes one of the most ridiculous decisions I have seen a referee make. And it always, like, when Arsenal fans say that it's against Arsenal, this is the same guy, and I'm just gonna run through some of the stuff that this guy's done. Like this
just
is the same...
before we start, yeah.
I was gonna say something as well before you run through it. Go on.
Before we start, yeah. The PGMO statement says that there was a lot of abuse coming from Arsenal fans, and I just want to let everyone know, Bevan's not one of them.
Oh no,
please continue.
Yeah.
Before you run through them,
yeah,
I'll be honest. There's one angle where it looks like it's a nasty foul that rigged it. So I don't initially blame Oliver, because the whole point of the VAR is if he makes that mistake, if he sees it at an angle where from his view it looks like he's raked down his ankle and he's fouled him, then Darren England, you're there to say, oh no, he hasn't. All he's done is stamped on his foot. Move on. So I know there are other instances where Oliver has shagged you guys and other teams as well. So I'll defend him a little bit on the initial, because from his angle, it could honestly look like it was a dirty foul.
Yeah.
That's what the VAR has to come in and say, listen, you got it wrong. Go and look at it, change it. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair enough. But then why didn't Gomez get a straight red then? Because that was worse. Way worse. Like,
true.
I'm just saying...
I actually think the only reason he didn't give him a straight red is because he knew he was going to let it yellow and he was going to be sent off anyway. And it was more of a stamp with the Arsenal one. When you look at the Skelly's one,
Arsenal one was more cynical.
It was more cynical, but I think it was the fact that he started at his shin and then went down to his ankle. Why the PGO or the VAR didn't overturn it? Because if it was just a cynical foul, it should never have been a red card. And I don't even think it was a red card.
No, it wasn't.
To me, I don't really understand why the refs are going to be red card happy now, because you have the safety net of VAR anyway. They're going to check. So why wouldn't you just give the yellow? Because in that situation, you know what he's tried to do. You know he's not tried to deliberately connect with his shin and his ankle. Like, he just tried to trip man up so that he couldn't counterattack. But obviously the speed of the game, the way that his the boot is connected with his ankle, it looks worse, and everything you slow down looks worse the way you see it. But realistically, all he had to do was give a yellow there, let them review it, and then look at the screen and then make a decision. But because he's given a straight red, he's seen it from his angle, he's seen it. I think they find it difficult to overturn because they've slowed everything down and they've seen how his studs have connected with the bottom of the shin and down to the ankle, and that's the reason why they didn't overturn it. But
then,
I agree, it was a bad decision from the ref, in my opinion.
The thing is, if I've watched like highlights from different commentators, and every single one of them is shocked. Like, what? He gave a red? Like it didn't. And even when they watch it back on the replay, they gave a red. I don't understand how the ref can do it. It's to me sometimes with that decision, it's kind of like when like the police delete somebody and then their bridges come out and say, "Oh no, they didn't do anything wrong." And this is that's what it seemed like. It's like he didn't. What's that guy's? What's the ref name when he said, "Oh, I didn't want to send one of the refs back to the screen because I didn't want to get into trouble because he's my friend." So they make a mistake, and then the whole point of VAR is to pull them back, and then they don't. It's just it's ridiculous. And I think the reason that Arsenal fans have a problem with Michael Oliver is that in some games, I think Leon said it a couple of weeks ago, when Michael Oliver swallows his whistle, but when he's Arsenal, he seems to regurgitate it again. He finds it. He's like, "Oh, there's my whistle and there's my cards." Like
100%.
Like,
I fully agree. Like, his record against you guys is unreal.
He sent off Martinelli for 2 yellow cards in the same action, yeah. And then Kovacic, like,
oh, that's the worst.
Kovacic should have been sent off, and they said, "Oh, he didn't want to send him off because he didn't want to ruin the game." Right?
That's why the whistle.
Bro, I did he swallow it that time, but he didn't swallow it the other time.
I agree, bro.
But imagine, Bev, what's worse is he chose to make that comment. Like, no one, he didn't have to say that. He could have just kept all his ideas to himself. He said, "You know what? Let me just be honest and tell everybody what I thought about." Nah, you don't say them things as an official.
And then
remember, it was Howard Webb that came out and said it. Howard Webb threw him under the bus with that one. Because obviously the referees don't speak. So the only reason we know that is because Howard Webb came out and said that's what he said.
No, true.
But the thing is, he had two tackles in that game, and both of them
should have been red.
And he said, "Oh, it's not really red; it's more orange." And then obviously he sent off Trossard earlier on in the season. I'm just saying that, like, you can see why certain people would have kind of thinking that, like, there's an agenda. I'm not saying there's an agenda, but he just seems to make these bad decisions, and it kind of stinks a little bit.
Oliver, I think it must be personal with you lot. I don't know what
bro.
It looks like it's a Man City thing. Don't forget last year. I think he was in charge when we played Man City, and Doku fly kicked McAllister in the chest in the box last kick of the game, and he was the ref and gave nothing. So maybe he's just a crap ref. And he hates Arsenal.
But you know what though? Arsenal fans are only making it worse for themselves. Why are you going to threaten man's family?
Oh yeah,
like, he's going to go into the game and be more sympathetic? No.
Of course he's not. No, of course he's not. But I'm just saying that maybe one of these brethren needs to catch him in a hotel room with some and making disparaging marks.
Someone vouched for you earlier, yeah? Someone vouched for you earlier. Said it wasn't you.
I vouched him. He's all right. He's safe. People, he's safe. Don't worry.
I'm just saying. But yeah, we got the 3 points. And to be honest with you, when we went down to 10 men, I was kind of worried because I've seen how we performed when we've gone out to 10-minute games. We've gone too defensive.
You regressed. You kind of retreated, but you didn't.
No, but we didn't.
No.
Yeah, and Wolves were kind of toothless. Even I think that if they don't get a man sent off, it might finish 0-0. It's a draw. But they
had one shot where you had 10 men. They had one shot on target where you had 10 men.
They weren't really progressive. So Spurs and Man United, you lot will be safe this season.
Bro, we still got to play Wolves again, bro. What do you mean?
Bro, listen,
Dr. Tottenham still in the house, bro.
That will come later. Dishing out gifts.
So yeah, it was a 1-0 game. I don't really. It's a 1-0 game, and maybe that's the kind of game that you need when you're running into this part of the season where it might galvanize. I'm hoping that it galvanizes them and they turn up, and I'm really hoping that, as I said, they decide they actually try to sign a player. And Arteta keeps saying we need help. Cool, but just saying it, and then if it gets to, was it Friday, and then he turns around and says, "Oh, we tried everything we could, but we couldn't get anyone." I'm not having it, man.
Honestly, though, like I know you're not the sporting director, but who? If there's one striker you could bring in, who realistically do you think you can actually bring in? I mean, realistic. So, like, not Alexander Isak, because you're not getting.
No, not Isak. But I'm sure they could get Osimhen if they really wanted to.
I don't know if that's a good fit for your team, though. I don't know, man. His personality doesn't bode me as a type that could.
I don't think there's wrong with his personality. I don't think he would,
I'm
bro.
saying when I say personality wise, I feel like he's such a strong personality. Yeah,
that's kind of what they need.
And yeah, but I don't know. Some of them guys in Arsenal's team, they look like weak-hearts. The only people that look like they could probably put up with him is or be on his level is someone like Gabriel and Timber. And I don't know. Trossard doesn't look like he would be able to.
I don't see the personality thing personally. I don't see it,
bro. I don't necessarily agree that at the moment Trossard is one of the players that is stepping up. In the last couple of games, he's been all right. He's the one that has been given a lot of chances and be getting assists and stuff like that. So I can't really, at the moment when we've needed him the most recently, he stepped up. So I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that like if they want to have players that are winners in their team, they're gonna have to deal with big personalities, innit? You can't have shrinking violets.
True. No, true.
Because a lot's been said of your captain that he's shrinking week on week.
I don't think
he had a good game against Tottenham, but has he been good enough in and around those games? In your opinion?
No, he hasn't. I don't think he's fully fit. But he hasn't. There are games that he has gone missing in this season. I don't think he's fully fit though.
Well, he definitely ain't. Always ill at the moment, isn't he?
He's ill. Yeah. He's ill at the moment.
Moment he's ill. He's no Bruno, that's for sure.
Wow.
Boy. Yeah.
But I look at the Arsenal game. Like I said, as soon as it went to, I blamed what's his name, Gomez, man, because we touched on that red card as well. Like the manager said he spoke to him at half time. He said, "Listen, I'm calm. I can keep my emotions in check." Why just chase it? Why chase that ball when you know that you're half a second? You're not even controlling the game. You just need to get a point. So I thought manager made a mistake keeping him on. I know you got to trust your players, but if you had that worry, just change him in it. We change him, but like you said, good win for Arsenal, and it could be seen as a character building win. So the title race continues to go. But we'll move on. We'll move on to Spurs at home to Leicester. Leicester smashing and grabbing again, but this time actually grabbing the 3 points, not just a draw. Leon, your view, please, man.
Yeah, I mean, me and Darryl went to the game today as per usual, and I said to Darryl, "What's your feelings, Dr. Spurs or back-to-back wins?" And he said Dr. Spurs, and we got an early goal. Richarlison getting on the score sheet, good cross from Porro, who is really, really good at going forward, but ask him to do anything defensively. People go for Trent about defensive awareness and not tracking back and not running, not doing the work without the ball. But Porro, oh my goodness, defensively he's awful. For me, there's been a lot said about the injuries and the number of players that we've had missing this season. But if you can't get results against the bottom four at home, do you really? What are we doing here? Do you really deserve to be anything more than a relegation struggling team, which is what we are at the moment? I think we're 8 points above the drop zone right now, which is pretty diabolical. We've got 24 points out of 23 games. That's basically 1 point per game. 1 point per game. And we're at the end of January. So
it's a hell of a stat, by the way, Leon.
Bro, it's unreal. To be at this point in the season and be in this position, for me, as much as the injury crisis has been bad, we saw Newcastle have the same issue last year and they got mid-table. Right now, we are adrift of mid-table. That's how bad it is. So it's very much doom and gloom at the moment. I think Ange, you can see that he's in his press conferences, I think he's starting to lose a bit of faith. He keeps saying, that when players come back, and when someone asked him today if he'll be around for that point when people come back, and he was like, some people would say maybe not, but right now, as much as the injury crisis is not all on him, he definitely has some responsibility for it. And I believe that the team that we have at the moment should be good enough to get results against those bottom four teams. And like Leicester were better than us on the day. They played the game well. We went into halftime 1-0 up. I have no idea what happened at halftime because the team never came out. We conceded, I think, 2 goals in like 5 minutes, and we never looked like scoring. Like we had a couple of, I think we hit the post with a deflected free kick. I think Son hit the crossbar with a cross, which ended up as a shot. And other than that, we never really troubled Leicester, and they defended for their lives. They defended like they know they needed the result. And what is funny is that teams genuinely believe, the teams that are struggling believe that they can get a result against Spurs, and that says a lot about our team right now. Like they actually think that they can get results, and they get in them. And so, to me, I think the writing's on the wall for Ange. As much as, he could do better with having certain players back, I don't feel like he's managed the situation very well. And trying to play the way that we're playing it's starting to unravel now. It's got to the point where, not even starting, it's unraveled.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how to play against us. Teams know how to score. Like even Leicester's second goal today, like the first goal was mistakes as per usual, but the second goal, my guy, it's like Ndai last week. Okay. The guy has so much space to run into your final third.
No one's tracking the run.
Final third. How much time and space do you want? No one engages. Yeah. He curls the ball around the defender into the corner. You're just like, it's the same old story. If it's not a mistake, it's allowing people to just run right into your box and take shots from the edge of the box. And
Leon, can I be honest though? Yeah, there's two things, right? With Ange, I honestly feel like he's punching above his weight at Spurs, and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why I think that. And I've only got one example to give you, and it was today. You guys go 2-1 down after 5 minutes of coming out on half time, and he decides to take off Richarlison, who had a good game, to be honest, and was having a good game. Well, he wasn't having a bad game.
I can offer you a riposte to that because Richarlison apparently he wanted to come. Well, he was going to come off at half time. The manager was going to take him off, and Richarlison said, "I'll see if I can give you another 10 minutes."
Fair enough.
What I didn't agree with was how he made the changes. So, like, Son playing like as a number 9 with the defenders that they've got at Leicester. They're not slow and they're good in the air. What's Son going to do? He can't deal with playing in that situation. So I don't know. You throw a youngster on, throw Lancashire. What have we got to lose? We have nothing.
Yeah, Lancashire should have been on at that point.
I don't think he's great, but we literally offered nothing when someone in that position. Yeah. And like, we're asking another 17-year-old Marky Moore to come on and create magic when he's playing against James Justin, who is not a bad defender at all. He's actually really good at a one-on-one defender. So, like, they gave us no change. And the gamesmanship, oh man, you know what? Leicester played the game exceptionally well. Like, Ruud put on a Dutch masterclass of game management, because the time wasting and the amount of times players went down injured was unbelievable. And when I looked at it, I just looked at it like players were getting frustrated, but I looked at it as they played the game well. This is how we should be. We should be nasty, time wasting, doing what we need to do to win the game. But nope, Ange refuses to play that way. So, we've ended up with another loss at home to another bottom 3 team, and now they're out of the relegation zone. So again, you're welcome.
How long do you give him?
Bro, he should have already been gone by now. Like, all the other managers that we sacked, they were like 4th, 5th, 8th, and they all got sacked. 7th.
If he goes, who do you bring in?
15th, huh?
If he goes, who would you want them to bring in?
Ryan Mason.
Bro, I said to you last week, we need to catch up. Like, everyone's singing the praises of this golden boy, and no, it's not Mason, bro. I don't know, like, because we still got the same chairman. Like, Conte said it already. I said it last week. I had my rant. I don't even have anything left to say. I'm done, man. I'm done.
The thing is that, like, I get why he needs to go, because you've lost to three out of the bottom 4. You lost at home. You haven't beaten Leicester this season. You drew at Wolves. Everton beat you away. You lost at home to Ipswich. Like, that's kind of sacking form, really, and 1 win in 9. I think the problem is that his hands are tied. They're not giving him any money to sign anybody, and I get the depleted squad thing. I think the only thing that's going against him really is the fact that he's not trying to manage the team in the way that he's playing, and that's what's unforgivable, really.
Yeah.
But then
we haven't tried, as I said last week, we haven't done anything to try and, like, the defense is where the problem is, right? We haven't done anything to protect it. It's still the same week to week. Like, when teams attack, our midfield is MIA because they've all bombed forward, and you're like, where is the hold up? Where is the pivot? Where is the man that's supposed to be sitting and protecting? They're not there. So that's the manager. Like, we could have got draws, but we haven't even looked like getting draws because it's one way or the other. It's like we either score or we lose. It's crazy right now.
What's crazy as well is that, like, in that your 1 win in 9 was against Man City, but then you beat Liverpool.
No, it was before that. So that Man City game wasn't even included in this current run. It was the 5-0 against Southampton away.
Okay, yeah. That was all right. Bro.
It's that bad.
So, but then what I was going to say is that before the Southampton game, the win was against Man City, right?
Yeah.
So you can beat Man City, you can beat Liverpool, but then it's everyone in around you, and I think that's I think that, like, Ange could possibly stay until the Liverpool game in the League Cup, and if he wins that game, then I think he's not
winning that game.
Listen,
bro. No,
I was at the game.
I know what you're trying to say.
I was at the game, bro.
Bro, he's not winning.
He's not winning that game.
Listen,
there were circumstances that helped him win that first game.
You are not winning that game.
Bergman shouldn't have been on the pitch.
I've been down to 10 minutes at the time as well because the foul made our player sit off the pitch for 30 minutes and for 30 seconds, and we just didn't turn up. We're not going to not turn up at Anfield.
James.
So he's going to get finished.
Yeah, but I
know you're trying to be helpful.
No.
You've got to be realistic for him.
No.
You don't need to be realistic for me.
No, James.
There is.
I want him to stay for as long as possible. He needs to stay for as long as possible. I got some friends that are Spurs fans that need to feel more pain. You're all right, Leon, but the rest of them are not,
Bro, why do we need to feel more pain? We've been waiting how long, bro? The pain has gone on long enough.
You got to be a nice brother now, bro. Come on. At some point, you got to be a nice big brother.
My brother's a Man United fan. My parents wouldn't have that.
I'm talking about as an Arsenal are the big brothers. You got to be a nice big brother at some point, bro. You got to give them something.
Boy, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I agree with him. Tottenham are getting everything they deserve, man, for not following their so-called motto, to dare is to do. We don't dare to do anything. It's just words, bro. Hollow words.
I actually honestly think the best option for Tottenham is actually for him to try and recover your centre-backs, if it makes a difference, but because they're due back next week, I think, apparently. Try and recover your centre-backs and whoever else you got injured and limp to the end of the season, because then, as being Tottenham, you might have a chance of getting someone like Areola from Bournemouth, or you might have a chance of getting... No, listen, if Bournemouth don't get Europe, then there's no reason for him to stay there. Like, Tottenham is still a bigger club, and as a manager, he still may sit there and think, I can actually improve this team and do a bit better. Will he have loads of money? Maybe not, but it's still a better job. Or the Girona manager, Michel. But looking around, I don't know. I don't see a manager out there
Who
that
would
is
want
going to
to
change
come
Tottenham's
knowing
performance.
what our ownership is about, bro?
You're going there,
I'll take manager.
no.
There'll be guys there. There'll be guys there that'll take it.
Yeah,
but
guys
it's the quality.
who are. Let's be honest. They're at a level where you're like, this is an opportunity for me to prove myself at that level. Not guys who
you don't want that.
have a history of being successful.
Bro, you're basically going shopping in Sam's 99 looking for a manager because you're taking somebody that's going to be like up and coming, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Man said Sam's 99, you know.
Bro, no.
Bro,
listen, think about it though. Ange came from, they went through Conte and Mourinho, and then they had Pochettino and Nuno, and then they went to Scotland. What's next? What, they're gonna go to the Championship? Like it's gonna be someone on a team that's trying to prove himself. They're gonna know what, I can do this. I can turn water into wine.
Hey, you know what? That ain't a bad shout,
you know,
because if he goes over there,
now, shut up, man. I'm not saying who you should take.
Man said you're McKenna, you know.
I'm not saying who you should take. I'm just giving an example of the kind of person Bevan was talking about. That's the kind of person,
bro.
But listen, I gave you who I think you should get in the summer, innit? You should be looking at Areola or Michel or something like in the summer.
Hey, he's gonna be free. He's
gonna
be free.
Before we make Leon even more vexed, we'll move on to the lucky win for Man United today. Bruv, it was lucky. He had one shot on target, and it was one fluky, deflected, loop-de-loop goal, boy. Credit to Man United, they stuck in. They showed resilience. But I watched the post-match from, what do you call it? Marco Silva. Wait, Marco Silva for Tottenham. I'd be a good manager for Tottenham. But I watched the interview, and he was not gracious at all in how he thought Man United were not good enough and won that win luckily. He said it like 4 or 5 times. Lucky shot, lucky win, one shot on target. He was not a happy guy. But 3 points is yours, so that's what it matters in this day, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing really to shout from the hills about, bro. We were lucky. We never had a shot on target officially until like the 42nd minute in the first half, and that wasn't even a shot. It was like a cross into the box, and I think it came off one of our players, and the keeper had to save it. And you know, in the second half, I feel like, you know, everyone kind of got the message that we needed to kind of press and have some intent. But the resounding thing that I'm finding is that we're just lacking the power and the force to go forward. Like, our attacking threat is really limited to our wingers or our false 10s, if you like. Trying to get Diallo, find ways to get Diallo into the game. Garnacho had another good game today, I would argue. He was also a threat at times. But yeah, nothing really stand out. I was saying it to Daryl. I was watching it with Daryl, and I was saying to him, to be honest with you, this is another game, and I think I said it on one of the earlier pods, where Bruno, deeper in the field, is just ineffective for me. Don't get me wrong, he gets the ball and he can, you know, recycle the ball well and all that kind of jazz, but he really needs to be where, you know, the excitement is happening, which is just behind the striker, or, you know, just right on the edge of the defensive line, of the opposition's defensive line. But yeah, he was trying his best out there.
Why can't he do that from midfield?
What, deeper in midfield?
Yeah.
I just don't think he's effective there. I don't know why he can't do it. Maybe because, I don't know, he doesn't have the pace to kind of beat people, to maybe, you know, cause more of a threat going forward. Maybe because he's a more intricate player and he likes to play around the corners, the 1-2s and all that kind of jazz. Maybe that's the reason why he needs to play closer to the striker. So when the striker's playing on the shoulder, someone like Højlund could benefit from something like that, or even a Garnacho, or whatever the case may be when he's closer. But I just felt like the game was going to be a stalemate, and as I said, I can't see where United are going to get a goal from at the minute. Lecce just comes and steps up and takes a lucky strike. I would say a lucky strike. He takes a strike from I don't know how many yards out and gets a lucky deflection. And jumping for joy, 3 points in the bag. We can't play like that against everybody and expect to get 3 points. It's just not feasible. It's not, it's just not something that we can always look at as, let's just grind out the win and see if we can get a lucky 1-0. Look, Fulham didn't have that many. They didn't have that much of a threat going forward, but I felt like there was way more intent from them. What's his name, Muniz, the Brazilian guy, Munoz, yeah. Muniz, yeah. So if he was more clinical in front of goal today, we probably would have been 1-0 down, and then I don't feel like we would have probably got back into the game.
And Wilson saved you as well, though.
Who?
Collier,
yeah. But that was to make it a draw.
I know.
That was to make it a draw. But I'm saying before we even got our goal, Muniz had a chance, and I feel like if we'd have got that goal, I'm not too sure if we would have got one after that, because we weren't looking like much of a threat. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, Adama as well. You know what? I'll ask you about Bruno, but I just think when he's sometimes it's him spamming the ball. Like him being effective further up the pitch is because he wants to take shots and he wants to. I don't know. It's like he doesn't. Sometimes he look as quality as he can be, and I know I don't really, that I'm not really like a fan of his, but it's because he doesn't take care of the ball enough. There's so many times when he gets the ball and he sprays it and it's going to nowhere, to no one. It's gone out the box. It's gone out the ball. I mean, it's gone off the pitch, or it's missed the man. But in terms of your midfield, in terms of the energy, that's what you need in there for the moment. And you would be if you with the two inside tens that you've got in Ahmad and Garnacho, with him giving them the ball, if it goes to them, they should be able to take on their player of 1-for-1. It's just that today with Ahmad, he's playing against Anthony Robertson on his side, who's decent, and then Bassi was coming over to cover him as well. If he was out of position, he was coming over to deal with Dallo. But to be honest with you, I watched that game and it was a low quality game. The first 20 minutes I was watching it, I said, you know what? If Fulham don't score now, they're not going to score. There was a lot of times where they were getting the ball and it looked good, but then misplaced pass.
Yeah. They were very kind of, they weren't taking care of the ball at all, to be honest with you.
They definitely weren't. Even like the link up between Smith Rowe and Iwobi. It wasn't. There were times when like it just didn't. It looks like it's just not quite the finished article. Yeah, they can turn it on and stuff like that. But either they were crossing the ball and it was hitting the first man. It's going over. It's not getting to Jimenez. So by the second half, I actually said that United were going to win that game, even though it was a lucky goal, because it looked like it looked that if something was going to fall for you, because it wasn't. It didn't look like it. I don't think it was going to fall for them at all.
Yeah, the thing about it, they were really exhausting going down their left hand side, and if Robertson had better crosses than what he was kind of displaying today, I feel like they probably would have had better chances on goal. But he wasn't on point today, and for that reason, we kept a clean sheet, which I'm happy for. And I feel like defensively, and we needed that a clean sheet away from home. So just kind of, galvanize the guy's mindset and just think to yourself, all right, cool, we can, another one for the road. The away fans were in song for 90 minutes. I don't think I've seen anything better this season, to be honest with you, from the United fans. We were really quite, behind the team from the off at 0-0. And I think my worry is if we don't get someone up front that can bag some goals, we might stay mid-table, because the worrying thing is we're not stretching the pitch enough when we're not kind of running in behind. So there's no threat going forward at all, unless one of our tens want to take the ball, beat a man, and then potentially we get a chance. But outside of that, there is no other threat coming from United at the minute. So it is a rascal thing to think we're 6 days, what was it, 5 days away from the window closing, and we haven't even thought that we need to dip in to get a striker. Meanwhile, we've got let's just say we've got a Rashford sitting in, not even on the bench. He's probably in a spa somewhere, yeah? And Amarin's not prepared to play him. And I think I was speaking to you about it before we started the pod, James, and I was saying to you that when Amarin done his post-match today, one of the journalists asked him a question about, Rashford and what's going on with him, and, is he going to get some game time? And Amarin kind of loosely said, look, for him, it's not just about Rashford, it's about everybody, and demonstrating their overall ambition to play for United and carry themselves in a certain way in the training park and in their lifestyle. And if they don't do that, then they won't play. He will not budge on that at all. He would rather play Vital, who is the goalkeeping coach, rather than play someone else that doesn't have that kind of mindset.
So what, you saying
So
that
for
Rashford's
me-
got a bad attitude?
Basically.
But
Basically.
I don't.
And if him and Garnacho were the first two people that he, and I'm going to say picked on, isolated, focused on, whatever word you want to use, yeah? When he come into Old Trafford, and Garnacho's the only one that has been playing and was arguably back in form, or, he's getting more game time. He started today, etc., etc. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's started the last game as well. Then he's the only one that's actually thought to himself, right, I want to play games, so I need to actually listen. And Rashford's either head's been turned or his head's gone, and he's not. He wants to move on now.
I think the club have decided that it's time for him to go. They didn't like the interview because what's always been said is that Rashford's attitude around the club has never been poor in the whole time. His attitude on the pitch in terms of his work rate has always been suspect, but how he's carried himself around Carrington, etc., that's never really been questioned until all of a sudden Amarin comes in, he has an interview, and then Amarin uses poor English to say, I don't like the way he dresses. Yes, it was poorly worded in terms of his dress sense, but it coincided with other people criticising that his outfit when he went out during the holiday. So I think it's more of a case where the club have said, he's done. Don't worry about it. Just bat it with a straight bat, any question you ask, but Rashford's done.
That seems like
I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him in that regard because he needs him.
You can't single out a man because of how he dresses. That's ridiculous. That's all. Yeah. Anyway, what, bruvs? That's disgusting. Really.
Lamont, unfortunately for you, so I think your situation is a little bit worse than us. We have money, but don't want to spend it. You guys don't have no money to spend. You guys got PSR issues, so I can't see bringing no one in. Obviously, there's been speculation about you selling Garnacho, but I am not sure.
They're trying to sell a left back. They're trying to sell a left wing back. The Dorgu guy, innit?
Yeah,
that's their focus.
But they haven't. They're not
on a loan.
They're trying to do loan with a option to buy. Right now, Lecce aren't on that. So
no.
Personally, your recruitment in the summer was poor, though. That's what it was. You needed a striker last season, and then you signed a guy that isn't a striker and it isn't a 10, and don't know what. He's
not a 9.5 either.
He's not a 9. I don't even know what he is. He's a footballer.
Yeah.
Igalo's still available. Igalo's still available, though.
I bet he's still playing ball.
He's playing for Al Weda in Saudi Arabia, bro. 4 goals, 17 games. He's Man United through and through, bro. He said it.
I don't even think Hoyland's got that in him, bro. 4 goals in 17 games. Embarrassing.
You gotta
But
be,
yeah.
you gotta be happy with the win though, bruv. Even though it was a stinky game.
No,
Yeah.
I said it from
And-
the jump. I said I'm happy with the 3 points and the clean sheet, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real. My bar is so low,
On the
right
floor.
now. I am taking every game as it comes. I'm not trying to be in no relegation battle. I'm not trying to have Everton breathing down my neck. And if they win their game in hand, I'm now sitting for like 1 place out of the relegation zone. That ain't my team. We're not doing that. Like, we are trying to just treat every game as it comes. And unfortunately, we have to give respect to everybody we play now. We can't just treat people disrespectfully, and just try to think, right, we're going to go there and roll them over. Every team now, we've got to be like, right, we've got to be a little bit more practical. Like, what's their threats? And go from there. But
Okay.
the next game is Crystal Palace, isn't it? So let's see how
Ooh.
that goes. But yeah,
Okay,
on to City
okay.
and Chelsea.
Yeah. So that was a very good game. I can't lie. I enjoyed that from start to finish. First, sorry for the new centre back.
Yeah.
Had a rush of blood for the
Yeah.
first 4 minutes. He lasted. To be honest, when he got subbed, I thought Gary Neville was getting a bit excited. Like, there was a coming together in the right back slot where he barged the striker out the way. Who was it? What's his name? Jackson gets the ball and he was like, he needs to come off. I'm like, nah. But obviously they're no more than me because he got brought off not long after that. But
He was
it
leggy.
was a baptism of fire. It was a baptism of
Yeah, it
fire.
was.
20-year-old, he doesn't speak English. I mean, come on. 20 doesn't speak the language.
Not at all.
You're going to throw him against Chelsea. Right? I get it. He said that because he can't play Champions League and he needs John Stones for the Champions League game midweek, he didn't want to play John Stones. So he took the risk. But he got away with it in the end, but he could have scarred him a little piece because he's only 20 years old as well, isn't it? It's the biggest.
Yeah.
That's the biggest game of his life, realistically. When you look at the games he's played,
He'll be all right, man. He'll just bloody.
yeah, he will be. He will be. They won,
yeah,
innit?
yeah, they won, but that was a stinker. That was an absolute that back pass was terrible. It seemed to be in that game that like, it was a good game, but some goalkeeping errors and some very
Sanchez.
bro. Nah, listen,
Chelsea goalkeeping.
Chelsea's defending.
Chelsea's
My God,
line. Oh my God.
my word.
Is that Tottenham?
Wow. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe. Why did they press up so high? They made it so easy for Man City to play in behind them, and when it kept happening, I was like, no. At some point,
Someone's going to switch on.
They got to switch on. They got to realize they just kept playing that ball. When Guardiola went through, you got to think, okay, cool. This is. Then it happens again.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say, come on, guys. Like somebody kind of is it? What is that? Because they got a young team. Maresca couldn't see it.
A young manager as well, I guess.
Bro,
football wise, he's not old. He's not young as age, but he's still infancy in his management.
But he's been playing football his whole life.
He's played. Yeah, he played football.
So you can see what it's got. If we can see it, are you trying to? He can't see it. He can't see that this high line isn't working. Tell a man,
it's philosophy.
Drop back.
Philosophy, bro.
Yeah, but bro, Chelsea, that high line.
I hate you.
No, but they had that high line when Chelsea had the ball in their half, and they just said, "Yeah, we're gonna just stay here." Like, what's him? Chalobah had a good game in their last game. He had a decent game against Wolves. He was a difference maker, and in this game, it was like he must have been thinking, "I might have been better off staying at Crystal Palace because this is bad."
Yep.
That
Naswari. That Naswari's a player, bro. I'm not even joking. He looked like he was still
Mamouche.
Mamouche.
They stole him from us, bro.
Oh man, just came in.
They did it, but they didn't really.
When he stepped into that game, where he was all action.
He was,
yes, mate.
Good player.
But it's Gary Neville was right. Listen, what they've been lacking is someone that actually wants to run without the ball. This season, every single one of their players wants his defeat. Everyone wants his defeat. Harden makes a run, no one finds him. Now they've got two options for players to make the run, and I felt sorry for him at times because he made a run through, and they've got players good enough to play the ball, and they weren't playing it. But he didn't give up. He was like, okay, cool, I'm not going to get a run. I'll go back and make another run. Go back and make another run. And it's kind of annoying because I think I mentioned on here that we were linked with him and having him and Salah would have been good. And now I just feel like flipping it. Next season, maybe even this season, this guy's going to be a problem because he's not scared to shoot. He's good with both feet. He can cross. He's quick. He's tenacious, and he's exactly what they needed. And none of us wanted City to get exactly what they needed. None of us.
He's another Julian Alvarez. Let's be honest.
Yes.
He's almost a carbon
Free kicks as well.
Anywhere across the front three, and he is good at set pieces. So it's like, well, they just basically.
I think he's a better quality though, Alvarez. To be fair, maybe just because he's in form at the minute, but it just feels like he looks more of a threat.
He's confident though, isn't it? He's scored 15 goals in 17 games, and he's double figures for assists.
Yeah, but
double figures for assists as well. So his confidence is high.
Frankfurt are like the striker whisperer, man. They just made strikers look amazing and sold them for bucket loads of money. So
there you go, Ekitike. You can Arsenal go and get Ekitike from Frankfurt as well, bro. That's another one for you.
Bro, listen.
James is full of nuggets.
We're gonna listen. Don't wind me up, Jays, because we end up with a right back.
Or another, sorry, you get another left back, bro.
Sorry, no.
Kieran Tierney will leave, and you replace him.
No. We'll get another centre back, and then play them at right back or left back. Something stupid like that. Yeah, don't.
All right,
yeah.
Cole Palmer. We said it in. If you guys didn't watch it, although we put him on our team of the season so far,
he's not a big.
We said that big games he's not stepping up, and I'm not. I didn't have a problem with him not shooting. He goes through on goal. You got two options: bury it or play a good pass for a tap in. He doesn't bury it, and he plays an awful pass,
bro.
For I keep forgetting his name now. Nico Jackson. Yeah. And I'm like, this was your moment to silence people and say, listen, these big games I can produce. And from that moment onwards, I don't actually remember him having an impact.
You got to remember,
I could be wrong.
He is a Man City product. Therefore, they knew how to deal with his threat. To me, I know what people are saying about the big games this season and whatnot. Like, they've still got another set of big games, but I think Chelsea's tactics have also been part of the issue. Like, you can't go like Maresca as out. Like, I don't know whether he tried to outdo Pep with his tactics. They got an early goal and then they just retreated, but they didn't retreat in the way that you expect. As Bevan was saying, they were retreating with a high line and then not pressing the person who's in possession of the ball. So he has time and space to play balls over the top, and Robert Sanchez is in goal, and we know what more.
Horrific goalkeeper.
Was he though? Was he actually in goal?
Well, he wasn't.
It looked like he was more playing left back, man. He was playing left back at times, bro.
Man,
crazy. But no, sorry, I was gonna say. I think with Palmer, like, it's that second season thing, innit? Everyone knew what he was about. No one knew what he was about last season. He surprised everyone. Now this season is the chance for him to really prove whether he is about that big game life. And so far he hasn't. But second season, when people start to know what you're about, it becomes a bit more difficult. So we'll see.
Yeah, he's still got 14 goals and 6 assists though.
Yeah,
but you would say that's flat track bully stuff.
Yep,
and you will.
Yeah. It's not the same. It's when you look at it sometimes for somebody that is so quality when they are good, and for him to go missing so many times or not have an impact on any games like the big games, he is kind of looking like a flat track bully, and you do kind of think it's kind of like he's got all of the ability in the world, but then he's not delivering when the team kind of need him to.
Yeah, it's the moments. You say it a lot.
Yeah.
You say it quite a lot, Bevan. Football's about moments, isn't it?
Yep.
And he had that moment, and he let it go through his fingers. But I'm sure, like Leon just said as well, there's a lot of big games left for Chelsea through this season, and I'm sure he'll find his feet somewhere.
You just hope it ain't against.
Just hopefully not against. Yeah. Obviously.
Hopefully not against Arsenal.
Against Arsenal.
No.
He's already played us, and he had a great game. But we're not a big team, so it is what it is.
But Man City though, they're not. Obviously, we've already had this. Are they back? And they're not. And they're back. And they're not. It was a good second half performance, if I can be completely honest.
Pep had to change tactics when he went more direct, which was a big thing for City. They did it when they had Aguero. Like I'll never forget that pass they did against Arsenal I think it was in the final.
The long ball one.
Yeah, that went straight to Aguero. But like, they don't really.
Oh, okay. I think of the Gundogan one when Gundogan scores as well. They did it. He did that in the final when Gundogan scored. That was Man United, I think. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like realistically, I'm surprised that it's taken Pep this long to go more direct because of who he's got up top. Like Haaland is not. People know that he's not great at holding the ball up. So play to his strengths. This is what people said about Lukaku, that his first touch, this, that, and the other. But if you play it to where he can be a threat, then you're going to give him more opportunities to get goals. But they were very much reliant on the KDB Haaland connection. And obviously KDB been injured for a while. Foden's obviously hit a rich vein of form now, but he started off quite slow, maybe a bit leggy from his exploits last season. But yeah, I think the fact that he's been able to bring in reinforcements will give the team a bit of a lift, change like some new people to blood in, a bit of motivation, and it doesn't bode well for the rest of the league really if City do manage to put a run of games together.
6 points off second, because we'll go on to predictions next. 6 points off second.
Yep.
And they go to the Emirates next. So, no other better way to segue. Normally we go to Lamont first, but we'll go to Bevan first. 6 points off of you guys. They play you. What is your prediction?
2-1, because it has to be.
Okay. 2-1 City. Good. I like that, bro.
No.
James is a troll,
James. No.
Real life.
2-1 Arsenal, it has to be, man.
Yeah. I'm hoping for a draw, but
we can't afford it.
I don't think I'm going to get my wish, if I'm honest. So we'll go back to Lamont. You got Crystal Palace.
Yeah, 2-1 United.
2-1 United, cool. Yeah. Leon, you got Brentford away. Daryl, actually, do you first, I'll do thereafter.
I'm going 2-1 Brentford. Brentford, they've got a good home record, so I don't see us getting any change out of them either.
Daryl has said 3-1 to Brentford. Wow. Because he's also said their home record. They've got the 4th best home record in the league. And I said I'm worried Bournemouth, but I think we might just sneak a 2-1. We just can't afford to lose that game. But they're on scintillating form right now, so I'll go with a 2-1 Liverpool. So this has been Armchair Pundits. This has been an interesting show because not everyone's been happy. No one ever is. We're still waiting for that everyone win. Wow. But I'm kind of worried that the way Tottenham are, we're not going to get that this season.
Just looking like a 4-leaf clover at the minute.
But listen, we always have hope in it. We have hope. So before my voice completely goes,
let's leave it.
Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you've watched this far, what's the point in watching without subscribing? And then also
hit the bell
to share. Yeah, click that bell so that you know when we're actually posting the episodes. So take it easy. Have a great week. Peace out.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.